but they didn't make a curved turn, just changed direction at near right angles. I pointed at them, but was mostly speechless until they disappeared and finally said, "Guys, I think I saw a UFO." The dude sitting to my right. Time, Saturday 6/6 around 9-10 p.m. US Central Time, fully dark at night. Location, Green River in Mammoth Cave National Park in Kentucky. I was camping on the banks of the Green River with some friends this past weekend. We just set up camp maybe a few miles from the actual Mammoth Cave itself. We were sitting around a fire, and while we were talking, I looked up at the stars to my left. I think facing north. The stars weren't that bright, probably due to my eyesight adjusting from the firelight. Since the river is surrounded by pretty steep cliffs, the tree line was high enough that I had to look pretty high upwards to see above them. I noticed 3 horizontal white lights very close together, fairly bright against the night sky, and moving in unison. I think they were blinking softly, but definitely not the red/white/green lights of airplanes, which I also saw in the area I was looking, and not like a trail of satellites, and the lights were brighter than any satellites I've watched. It was just 3 lights moving together. The 3 lights were moving upwards above the tree line and looked pretty distant. Then I watched them turn suddenly to the right for a few seconds, then suddenly down, then a little to the left, then diagonally down to the right before disappearing below the tree line, staying horizontal to each other the whole time. I know they were behind the trees because I caught a glimpse of them behind a little opening in the canopy before disappearing for good. The movements were pretty instantaneous, but not super fast, but they didn't make a curved turn, just changed direction at near right angles. I pointed at them, but was mostly speechless until they disappeared and finally said, "Guys, I think I saw a UFO." The dude sitting to my right immediately and adamantly said he saw it too right after I pointed at them and before they disappeared below the trees, but everyone else kinda laughed it off, and most of them were facing away from what I saw. Anyway, it didn't look like anything I've ever seen in the night sky before, especially the movement. I looked up any sort of paranormal activity around Mammoth Cave, and there were some odd reports and local lore. Since the cave is like 400+ miles and mostly unexplored, I'm kind of a skeptical believer, but the reports and lore made me less skeptical of what I saw. Anyway, it kind of spooked me. I'm curious if anyone is from that area and have had any similar or just weird experiences in the area, or seen something similar to what I'm describing anywhere at all.